Millions of years ago, long before skyscrapers, cities, and technology defined our world, humanity was just beginning its story. The Earth was a place of raw wilderness, vast forests, open grasslands, rivers teeming with crocodiles, and skies dominated by great birds of prey. Among these landscapes lived our earliest ancestors, fragile, intelligent, and struggling each day to survive. But one challenge towered above many others. It was not just the big cats, the jaguars, or the packs of hyenas that haunted the night. No, hidden in the tall grass, slithering among the trees, and coiled in the shadows were the serpents. Snakes so large, so powerful, that they could swallow a human whole. These were not ordinary snakes. Some grew longer than 5 men laid head to toe. Their muscles, coiled like living ropes, could crush bones in seconds. Their fangs, carrying venom, could end a life with a single bite. To early humans, these snakes were both a nightmare and a teacher. The fear in the grass. Imagine walking barefoot across the African savanna 2 million years ago. The sun burns down, the air shimmers with heat, and every step is taken with caution. A rustle in the grass might be nothing, just the wind. Or it might be a giant serpent waiting, patient and silent. Early humans learned quickly that survival meant vigilance. They watched the ground as carefully as the sky. They studied the patterns of snakes, how they moved, when they hunted, where they rested. Each encounter etched lessons into human memory, passed down from one generation to the next. Strength in numbers. Against a giant snake, a lone human had little chance. But humanity's secret weapon was not muscle or speed. It was community. Together, groups of humans could drive off even the deadliest serpent. With sticks, stones, fire, and loud cries, they fought as one. The snake might be stronger than a single human, but it could not defeat the will of many. This truth became a cornerstone of survival. Humanity's instinct for cooperation, for moving together, for protecting one another, was sharpened by these encounters. The lesson of balance. Yet not every snake was an enemy. Some snakes controlled pests, hunted rodents, and kept the ecosystem balanced. Humans observed this too. They learned that not all serpents were to be feared. Some could be tolerated, even respected, as long as boundaries were kept. This delicate relationship between human and serpent shaped our evolution. It taught caution, awareness, and the value of unity. It gave rise to stories, myths, and symbols. For the snake became not just an animal, but a force of nature, embodying danger, wisdom, and transformation. The first sparks of human growth. Every encounter with danger forged stronger humans. As snakes tested their courage, early humans became sharper thinkers, better problem solvers, and more adaptable survivors. This was the crucible of evolution, challenges that forced growth, threats that demanded intelligence. From the shadows of the forest to the blazing savannas, humanity learned one vital truth: survival was not guaranteed. It had to be earned every day against the jaws of predators and the coils of serpents. The ancient world was not a safe place. Early humans lived in a constant struggle, not only with hunger and weather, but with predators that ruled the land long before our kind ever set foot upon it. While giant serpents lurked in the shadows, other dangers walked openly. Predators with teeth and claws, eyes that glowed in the dark, and muscles built for killing. The African forests and savannas were alive with hunters, lions, jaguars, saber-toothed cats, and packs of hyenas. For early humans, survival meant stepping into a world where they were not the strongest, not the fastest, and not the most feared. They were prey as much as they were hunters. When the sun set, the savanna changed. The sky burned red, then purple, before giving way to deep black. This was the hour of predators. From the cover of the brush, lions watched silently. Jaguars slipped through the trees without a sound. Hyenas laughed in the distance, their eerie cries echoing in the night. For early humans, the darkness was alive with danger. A campfire meant survival, not only for warmth and light, but as a weapon. Flames kept predators at bay, creating a circle of safety in an otherwise hostile land. Humans huddled close to one another, knowing that the fire's glow was the only thing separating them from the hunters beyond. As with serpents, strength came not from the individual, but from the group. Early humans learned to move in small bands, families, clans, and communities that lived and hunted together. A lone human could not face a lion, but 20 humans armed with spears and stones could drive one away. Together, they shouted, beat sticks against the ground, and hurled rocks until the predator withdrew. In this unity, humans began to understand the power of cooperation. Predators forced humans to organize, to communicate, to invent strategies. In a way, every lion and jaguar was also a teacher, testing human courage, sharpening their instincts, and shaping their evolution. But the relationship between humans and predators was not one-sided. Though dangerous, these animals were also sources of food, clothing, and tools. Early humans hunted when they could, scavenged when they must, and risked their lives to claim meat from the wild. Sometimes they followed predator trails, waiting until lions had left their kill. With courage and teamwork, humans would chase scavengers away and take what remained. Other times, they laid their own traps or used primitive weapons to bring down smaller game. Every hunt was dangerous, every meal hard-earned. Yet these struggles fed more than just the stomach. They fed human intelligence. To outwit predators, humans needed to plan, observe, and remember. Slowly, the brain grew, problem-solving sharpened, and the first sparks of human culture began to flicker. Predators were never fully defeated, never fully controlled. Even as humans grew more skilled, they remained part of a delicate balance. The savanna was not owned by one species alone. It was a web of life, where every creature had its role. Lions kept herbivore populations in check. Snakes controlled pests. Humans, still fragile and small in number, were simply one piece of the puzzle. To survive, they had to live in respect of this balance. And yet, within them was a spark of something different. A drive not only to survive, but to change the world around them. Predators forced humans to adapt, but humans would one day rise to reshape the very ecosystems they once feared. Each generation carried new lessons: where the predators lived, how to avoid their paths, how to fight if cornered. These lessons became stories, shared around campfires in the language of gestures and sounds. Here, evolution was not only physical, it was cultural. Humans began to build a memory larger than any individual, a memory passed from parent to child, from elder to youth. This collective wisdom became humanity's most powerful weapon, more enduring than teeth or claws. In the shadows of the African night, surrounded by serpents, lions, and jaguars, humanity was tested. Out of fear grew unity. Out of danger grew intelligence. And out of survival was born the first seeds of human progress. If predators taught early humans fear, then fire taught them power. For millions of years, humans had lived at the mercy of nature. But with the discovery of fire and the creation of stone tools, they began to shift the balance. No longer just survivors, but innovators shaping their destiny. The earliest humans did not invent fire. They found it. In the aftermath of lightning strikes, in smoldering trees after a storm, or in grasslands ignited by the sun's heat. At first, they feared it, just like other animals. But curiosity drew them closer. They felt the warmth, saw how predators avoided it, and learned that cooked food was easier to chew and digest. Fire became more than survival. It became a gathering point, a symbol of safety, and eventually, a tool of transformation. With fire, humans could drive away predators at night, cook their meals, and warm themselves against cold winds. Around the flames, they formed circles, the earliest beginnings of culture, storytelling, and shared memory. Even before fire, humans had another advantage: tools. With sharp stones, they cut meat from carcasses. With hand axes, they cracked open bones to reach the nutrient-rich marrow inside. These tools were simple, but they represented something extraordinary: foresight. A stone tool was not just a reaction to danger, it was preparation. It showed that humans could imagine a future moment of need and act before it arrived. Every chipped flake, every carefully sharpened edge was a step toward the future. Tools allowed humans to hunt, defend, and build. In their hands, stone was no longer just stone. It was possibility. Together, fire and tools gave early humans something no predator had: control. Lions had strength. Snakes had stealth. But humans had creativity. With fire, they changed the night. With tools, they changed the hunt. Now they could cook tough roots into soft meals. They could roast meat, making it safer and more nourishing. Fire expanded diets, sharpened minds, and fueled the growth of bigger brains. And with bigger brains came more invention. For the first time, humans were no longer merely adapting to the environment. They were beginning to shape it. The glow of the fire brought humans closer together. It was here they shared food, warmth, and knowledge. Here they comforted the young and tended to the old. Here, in flickering light, they began to communicate in ways deeper than mere sounds. Gestures, stories, maybe even the roots of language. Predators lurked beyond the firelight, but within it, humans discovered belonging,